In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the best team according to artificial intelligence for game week 4. Now, before we dive into today's video, I just want to say a massive thank you to you guys for helping the channel hit 8,000 subscribers. Again, it seems like every single week on the channel at the moment, we are just hitting, milestones that I never thought would be capable. So thank you very, very much. Obviously, we are now on that road to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So if you are new around here, make sure you are liking, subscribing, and doing all the good stuff you should be to help support the channel. Right, let's start off with the team from game week 3. As you can see, it's quite respectable, I would say, for a team that didn't feature Erling Haaland. Now, he obviously went and absolutely smashed it. The AI didn't foresee that. He went and got another hat-trick, so it's pretty much decimated. If this team was obviously playing for rank, would have absolutely decimated that. In terms of the defence, I feel it got very, very unfortunate. Brentford conceded very, very late on, so we lost the flecking clean sheet because of that. Aya went off injured as well, so we would have had at least another point on top of that if he didn't go off injured. And like I said, if they didn't concede very, very late on, would have been another 12 points to that total as well. White and Gabriel as well. I feel with the game going down to 10 men, it was always going to happen where Arsenal were going to concede, so probably a little bit unfortunate in that regard. In terms of the attackers it picked, it did exceptionally well again. Obviously, Anthony Gordon being the only player that did blank from the attackers it did select. It also got the captaincy wrong. If it had gone for Mohamed Salah, probably again would have put in quite a respectable score. However, it did miss out on Erling Haaland. I feel it definitely made some good picks this week. However, without Haaland, this team definitely would have struggled. So only 70 points on the board. Not the best. Obviously, we've seen better weeks from the AI itself. However, let's go and take a look at how it is lining up for game week 4 and maybe see if it's learnt its lessons on the big man. Now, before we dive into the AI team for game week 4, if you want to go and check this team out for yourselves and also unlock some absolutely amazing features, head on over to Fantasy Football Hub, a link in the description. They are continuing their 50% off sale as well, so go and take full advantage of that. Like I said, link in the description. Right, let's start off first with Martinez in goal and Ramsdale on the bench. I think both of these guys, I've seen them in quite a few wildcard videos as well. Both of them, I think, should have a pretty decent week, to be honest. Obviously, Manchester United at home on paper is a difficult fixture. However, I'd still back him to pick up a few save points. It could be a decent option on the bench. Martinez, on the other hand, Everton historically under Dyche have been a very, very low scoring side. Aston Villa at home as well. There's decent clean sheet odds as well if you do take a look at the 11-5 data. So for me, this one I think is a very, very solid pick in terms of a goalkeeper. And if I was on a wild card this week as well, I think a Martinez could be a great, great selection. So I think that's a pretty decent pick from the AI itself. Moving on into the back line, we're going to start off with double Liverpool. Both Robertson and Trent Alexander-Arnold. Obviously, if we look at that 11-5 clean sheet data as well, it is suggesting a high probability of a Liverpool clean sheet this week as well. Both of them have been putting up pretty decent attacking numbers as well over the past kind of, 3 weeks. I can't even get my words out there. 3 weeks. Interestingly, it does have Robertson outscoring Trent in terms of predicted points, only by 0.1. However, Robertson also features on the top 5 not top 5, the top players for point scoring over the course of the next 5 game weeks as well. So maybe he is an undervalued asset, currently coming in around 6.4% owned, that potentially some of us maybe should be looking a little bit further at, because the clean sheet data is definitely there. He's also picking up good underlying data to go with that as well, so could be a great, great option. The final defender is going to be Gvardiol. City at home to Brentford. It just does scream of a clean sheet, to be honest. Again, looking at that 11-5 data for clean sheet odds, it does back Manchester City to go and get that clean sheet this week. It's interesting that he's not selected Rico Lewis. I thought maybe with his more advanced positioning, it potentially would have said he was the better option. However, maybe with him being in a minute's risk, it did think against going for him. In terms of the two bench defenders, nothing really to talk about there. Just 2 4 million guys and not really anything I feel that's worth any kind of further comment. Right, let's move on into the midfield. We're going to start off first with Semenyo. Now, he's absolutely been cooking over the past 3 game weeks as well. Whether or not that is going to continue, Bournemouth have some difficult fixtures coming up. They have a nice run in 6 and 7. After that, though, it does tail off again. They've got Chelsea at home. Chelsea defensively have still looked a little bit ropey this season as well, so he could be one of those players that does do exceptionally well. The AI's got him picking up 5.3 points in this game week, so maybe one to consider if you are looking for a cheap midfielder this week. Maybe the AI has found something that potentially a lot of us aren't looking at. Next to him is Morgan Rogers, again continuing with that cheap theme in midfield. 4.9 projected points for him. I feel he was super unfortunate in game week 3 not to have came away with at least one attacking return as well. There's some decent set of fixtures in here, and I think he will just tick on nicely. Again, if you are on a wild card, I would be considering him as a potential option. The Fantasy Football Hub love child, if you like, is Eze. It absolutely adores him, to be honest. The projected points have been very, very strong, and that is continuing again. I think he's featured in pretty much every single one of these videos as well, because their AI algorithm absolutely loves him, and that is for very good reason. If you look at his stats for this season as well, he has been doing exceptionally well. Probably unfortunate not to have come away with more attacking returns so far this season. Obviously in game week 1 against Brentford as well, also had a goal wrongly ruled out as well. They've got newly promoted Leicester at home, and it did seem in that Chelsea performance that there was a more rejuvenated Palace. They've had a little bit of time over the international break to get themselves together and hopefully get things back on track. So I think that could be a pretty decent option as well for this week. And again, if I was on a wild card, I think I would be looking at picking up somebody like Eze as well. And then our final midfielder is going to be Mohamed Salah. I think it's a great fixture. Nottingham Forest at home for him. He's been absolutely exceptional, hasn't he, at the start of this season? So that one makes complete and utter sense. And then finally, finishing off, it does have Harry Winks as the final midfielder. Again, nothing really to talk on that one. He is just a bench option that will see decent minutes this week. Right, let's move on into our attackers. We're going to start off first with João Pedro. It is a great fixture. Obviously, he is one of the most transferred in players for this game week. Scored in back-to-back games now as well. He's a penalty taker. Very, very good value for money at 5.7 million. The next two fixtures for Brighton are pretty immense, and I feel there's very, very good reason that the AI algorithm is loving him. Obviously, there is the external factors that he might potentially be late back to the UK and maybe misses out on this game. However, for now, it does have João Pedro in, so he will be in this lineup for game week 4. Moving on to our next one is restoring a little bit of faith in Alexander Isak. It had him last week. A lot of people have sold him off this week. And if you've seen some of the interviews that he's been doing in the Swedish media, he is ready to haunt some FPL managers this week. They've got Wolves away. Wolves have been very, very poor at the start of this season. Again, if we look at that 11-5 data, some of the worst clean sheet data over the next 5 game weeks as well. So definitely a team I would be looking to target. 6.2 projected points for Alexander Isak in this game week. So it could be a very, very tasty option. And maybe if you are thinking about selling him, maybe worth a little bit of reconsideration now that he's in the AI team. Some of the comments he's been making in the Swedish media, and obviously looking at the next 2 fixtures he does have available as well. And then finishing up, of course, it is going to be Erling Haaland. I feel like the AI has learnt its lesson. It does need the big man up top. He has got a stupendous fixture this week, hasn't he? Brentford at home. He is the highest player as well in terms of predicted points for game week 4 as well. 8.7 points for him, so he's going to be the captain. It does have both Mohamed Salah and Erling Haaland in here. Full strength, so it is looking very, very tasty indeed. Let me know down in the comment section below, how many points do you think the AI team is going to score this week? If you did enjoy any of the content that you've seen today or on the channel in general, make sure you're liking, subscribing and commenting. And thank you very much for watching today, ladies and gentlemen, and good luck in game week 4.